investment property, and then all of a sudden they're caught with a whole year's land tax that they had never taken into account. So be very, very careful of that land tax. And obviously if you're within the land tax thresholds for a particular state, then you don't have to pay it. So my discussion was for those people who are in a land tax paying position. The other thing that crops up at this time of year that helps expenses and income is what we call the 1515 tax variation form. So a lot of people who have negative gearing wait until the end of their year to do their tax return and then get a refund. But the problem is the ATO has had the use of your money, month on month on month. And you've had to fork out personal funds or borrowed money to fund negative gearing from month to month. Through this tax variation request, you can actually ask the ATO to approve that a lower tax is applied to your income to take into account your negative gearing. So you're actually getting the benefit of your negative gearing pay packet by pay packet, as opposed to waiting for the end of the year. And some clients say it's like forced savings, but I don't like giving the taxman money and him using it when it should be in my pocket helping me. The other thing, of course, is what we're finding is there's an increase in ATO audits on people with investment properties. And one of the areas the ATO looks at is large refunds. So if you've got a large refund, due to some negative gearing, that could trigger an audit that would maybe not otherwise have eventuated. So if you do the tax variation form, it takes away that extra flag in the computer that maybe saves you the aggravation of having to deal with the ATO and the expenses, because you've probably done nothing wrong other than you've got a large refund. So the tax variation form can help with your cash flow and can maybe help with not triggering an audit that was really not necessary.
Could I jump in with some questions, Ken?
Yes, absolutely, James.
Similar one from Jody and Melanie. Thanks for your questions. Around that they have investment properties being managed by a property manager. If the rent's, say, mid-June, can they ask the property manager to pay them on 1 July and that then falls into the 2013 tax year as opposed to the 2012 one?
You certainly can. One of the issues, though, the ATO may ask is, have you just arbitrarily done that to save tax? I know we're talking of a small number and they may not pick it up, but the ATO has a mechanism, they call it tax avoidance, Part 4A, that if they think you've done something with the specific intention and purpose, the dominant purpose of tax savings, they can still apply the tax. So apart from that, can I put question mark? You could certainly do that, but you run the risk. So that was a good question.
Tread carefully. Another one from Jody. Can you prepay rates and strata levies?
Yes, you can. And normally you're getting them on that quarterly basis. Certainly for council or rates, sometimes you get the discount if you pay it a whole year in advance. So for people who want to do that, that's a very good strategy as well.
Good question from Janine around the trips to visit an investment property. Is there a sort of rule of thumb or guidance around how many trips you might make a year?
No, you can be the most paranoid landowner, and want to see the place every week. It all boils down to what the dominant purpose of the trip was. If it is to inspect the property because, I want to make sure the tenants are keeping it, in a good state, if you go down there to collect the money, any number of reasons, there is no limit as long as the expense is apportioned if you're going to be travelling for